Hi everyone, it's Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Welcome to today's card. So in a video not too long ago, I mentioned that I loved making Easter and spring themed cards and that you don't always have to use those images strictly for Easter cards. And today I'm going to show you this. This is the cutest little image. This is a digital stamp, which means it was black and white on the computer. I had to manipulate it and then print it out. So this is not a physical stamp. I will have this shop link down below. This is the artist that did the teddy bear in the stocking, the Santa Claus, and the really cute bunny with the bee card that I did earlier. So yeah, so this is the type of card that could be used for Easter, but it could also just be a welcome baby card, a first birthday card, a baby's first Easter card. So it doesn't necessarily have to be just Easter, but let's head over to my craft table and I will show you how I put this card together. So I'm going to be coloring this card today, or this image, excuse me, with my Crayola colored pencils. So I think you can get a pretty decent pack of these pencils for like $5, either at Walmart, Dollar General, Target. I mean, you can pick these up off Amazon. These are just the cheap school Crayola colored pencils. And today I am blending without using Gamsol. So the last time I used these pencils with you guys, I used Gamsol, which is a solvent that helps break down the wax that's in the pencils. You can also use it with crayons, but you can also blend your colors together just using the pencils. This works so much better, and you can kind of see it a little bit better with like Prismacolor or Faber-Castell, but these actually turned out looking really, really good as well. What I kind of learned from this is that you want to color hard when you want something to be more saturated. And here you can see I was coloring very, very soft on the face because I want the face to be very, 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 very soft. I don't have all of the colors written down because your box may be different, but you can see here I have a scrap of copy paper that I just went through and I swatched colors that I thought would work well together for the skin tone and for the hair. So I went with a different color palette. As you guys saw in the beginning, I used yellow and green and a little bit of purple and a little bit of turquoise. And the reason why I did that is that this can also be, it's gender neutral, right? It doesn't scream, you know, girl because everything's all pink and purple, and it doesn't scream boy because everything's all blue and green. Not that I believe that you should conform to those kind of color stereotypes, but it is what it is, right? Rome wasn't built in a day. So some people are going to hold on to those traditions for forever, and that's okay. But this is a card that would easily work for a little boy or for a little girl. And again, I know a lot of people don't send Easter cards, but how cute is this? I mean, again, it doesn't even have to be Easter. It could just be, heck, it could even be a Halloween card. You know, baby's first Halloween, and he or she could be a bunny. So I'm just going back and forth on colors, like I said, and again, I am making sure that I'm coloring over them. And this artist has always, like all of their art, where it needs to be darker, they've already added shadow with us with her line art. So where it's darkest is where you know to put your darkest color. And then I'm just blending from darkest to lightest. To me, that's easiest when I'm using these kinds of pencils. And you can probably see that I'm pressing really hard. I did sharpen these along the way, but I found that I only needed it sharpened when I was going around lines. But when I was filling in, it did a little bit better when it wasn't quite so sharp. So I am choosing the greens that are going to be the inside of the ears. And again, it's really, really hard because and the stalk of the carrot, because sometimes the barrel color doesn't necessarily match the lead color. So it was a little bit of a challenge, but again, I think this card took me an hour, maybe an hour and a half from start to finish. It did take some time coloring, but for the most part, it took me forever to pick colors because I couldn't decide. So here you can see that I'm pressing pretty hard, and that's because I want this to be very opaque. And opaque just means that you can't see through it. So I always wondered what they meant when they said shrimp is done when it's opaque. And I'm like, what is opaque? And then I realized that opacity is just whether it's see-through or not. And I learned that by playing with Photoshop, of all places. Imagine that. So I'm using this darkest yellow wherever it would be darkest. So the bottom of the legs of the sleeper, between the toes of the sleeper, at the bottom of the ears of the sleeper, and just filled in that way. I didn't do a whole lot of shading and blending, but I did try to have a little bit of gradient. And these are the type of images that are so fun to color. If you are someone who has a printer at home, I would encourage you to play with digital stamps. Number one, you can print 1,000 of them, right? And if you need a laser printer if you're going to do Copics. Now, a lot of people said they've used inkjet. That your mileage may vary. I don't have any idea. I have a color laser printer. I've always wanted a laser printer, so that's what I use. So yeah, but you know, just play around with it. And you don't even have to like sit down and make a card. You could just, you know, sit down and color while you're watching TV or something like that. Especially those of you who like to maybe coloring books. I mean, it's basically the same thing, except this image can go on a card. I guess those could go on a card too. I don't know. Just give it a try. Just give it a try. And like I mentioned in my last video where I used a digital image, if you want me to show more of the technique of like how I size them, etc., let me know. I won't be able to do that until after the Easter cards are done because I filmed all of these ahead. I got a brand new computer and within 3 days it started screwing up. So I got to take it to the to an Apple genius and have them figure it out. And I'm not sure how long they're going to have it. So I've been trying to film ahead at least for a few weeks. That way you guys, I'm not missing any uploads. My channel is already dying, and when you miss uploads like that, YouTube just makes it even worse. So I want to make sure that everybody who wants to see my videos sees them. Make sure you're still subscribed. That's also an issue that YouTube has, and I don't understand why they don't listen to creators and fix it. But make sure you have the bell notifications turned to all. They may or may not work. We'll see. I do think I'm going to stick with an 8 a.m. Central Time upload for a little bit. That seems to be, a lot of you guys are up and around. Maybe you're watching while you're getting ready for work, etc. So yeah, I'm going to keep it that way for a little bit. But if I change it, I'll be sure to let you know. If you are in the Facebook group, of course, Facebook has also changed how they notify. So you'll have to go in and change your notifications from highlights to all if you're interested in seeing all of the postings in my Facebook group. A lot of times it's just, you know, I'm alerting people that this video, you know, the video that day had gone live, but I have some more plans going forward for group members. So make sure you check that group out. All of my social media is linked in the description box down below, which is where you'll also find a link to this Etsy shop. So your question of the day is, do you celebrate Easter? And I mean, I guess you can tell me if you celebrate Easter, but I mean like, you know, the Easter Bunny and all that fun stuff. When Rob and I first got together, I was like, man, it would be nice if the Easter Bunny came for a visit. He ain't ever visited. He ain't ever been to this house, no matter how many hints I drop. That's okay. Normally my birthday month is around Easter. And since Easter is what, April 4th this year? April 5th? April 4th? 5th? 7th? 2? Wait. When is Easter? It's the 4th. Yeah. And then my birthday is April 29th. So same month. It'll be all right. So for the pillow, I brought in a little bit of purple because purple and yellow go really great together and purple and green really go great together. I didn't want a pastel image. I wanted something that was gender neutral, like I mentioned, but I also wanted something that was very vibrant. So I felt like this image really struck that balance between being vibrant, but also being soft. So you guys will have to let me know how I did in the comments below because I'm always interested in what you guys think of my coloring, etc. I used a gray for the bunny. I didn't want to bring in light browns because I used the light browns for the face of the baby, and I didn't want the bunny to blend in with the face of the baby. So that's why I did that. Bringing in a light turquoise for the diaper cover on the bloomers for the bunny. And again, another color that goes really, really well with purple. And then this is kind of like a reddy violet color. And then I bring something in on top of it because I wanted more of like a pink. So I bring this in and it looks a little bit better. So I really like that. Bringing in some black for the nose. And I was trying to make the different patches on the bunny different colors. I love the idea of a patchwork animal. I just think, or stuffed animal. I just think they're so flippin' cute. I was on Amazon yesterday looking for a stuffed otter. Looking for a stuffed otter. Do I need a stuffed otter? No, I don't need a stuffed otter. Do I want a stuffed otter? Yes, I want a stuffed otter. I already have the meerkat and the sloth. If you guys have been following me, especially on my At Home with Misty channel, you know I had back surgery in 2019. And they make animals, they're called wormies. And they're actually ice packs or heat packs. So you can put them in the microwave to heat them up. Or you can put them in the freezer for an ice pack. And they're meant for kids. But your girl had her sloth with her at her surgery. I was in pre-op and the doctor and the anesthesiologist came in and I was like rubbing the sloth. I was so I had more nerves that day than I've had in a really long time. So I have this eraser that actually erases colored pencil. So that's what I was doing. So here is my color palette. The yellow paper is from Simple Stories. The green and white paper is from a Whimsy stamp. And then the purple is from Doodlebug. And again, yellow, purple, and green are really great colors that go together. There's actually that commercial, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I think it's for panty liners where everything is yellow and purple. Of course, those are LSU's colors. So yeah, really pretty. Really, really pretty. And I didn't do a whole lot with the background paper because number one, this image is bigger and I didn't want anything to detract from how the coloring, because the coloring is what takes the longest and the paper is just meant to be something that kind of helps set off the image. So I'm adding this with adhesive. This is a mix of Scotch mounting foam and some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. I'm going to add a little shimmer because it's a Misty card and you can't have one without. And I went ahead and went over the entire image with the shimmer pen and I really like how this turned out. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. Again, let me know how you celebrate Easter. If you do celebrate Easter, do you like Cadbury eggs? Do you not like Cadbury eggs? I'd love to know. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like all the YouTube things. I love you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.